So, welcome back to another episode of It Can Still Happen podcast. I actually know that there's a lot of you guys been wanting to hear our opinions and thoughts on what's been going on out here in the country in general with the most recent events of the injustice and killing of unarmed black men and women. And we're going to get into that today. So, the first thing is I want to say I made my culture breakdown video earlier this week, and I was just speaking about how, as a creator, it's very difficult to make like lighthearted, entertaining, inspiring content right now. It's tough. Mm-hmm. It's tough for me to do that. I tried to do it last week. I tried to just construct a normal culture breakdown, and I just didn't feel right. I don't even really want to watch stuff. You get different news and information every single day. So it's been very tough for me. I'm going to try to get back into the regular programming this week. But I wasn't able to say everything that I wanted to say in that video. Time limits and just whatever. But today we can talk about it all. We can have a full discussion about my opinion on things and Will's opinion on things. So we're going to get right into it. The murder of George Floyd. Did you watch that video?
I did not watch the video. I actually was off Facebook for a while. I actually stopped with the social media for a while.
Mm-hmm. So how did you hear about it?
I heard about it.
First hear about it.
My girlfriend showed me. She would tell me about it. And I seen some of the video, but I didn't really see a lot of it. I didn't watch the whole video. So I really wasn't keeping up with a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff was going on I didn't know nothing about. You know, for real. Like when they started protesting at first, I didn't know nothing about it at first. Mm-hmm. And so I actually got back on Facebook so I could see what was going on, you know.
Is that, I'm very interested in that because I've taken long breaks from social media, like years. And I've only been back on since I created my YouTube channel and became a creator. I've just slowly reintroduced each platform. And for me, it felt very good to be off of social media platforms and not know what was going on in the world. Only way I know what's going on in the world was the bits and pieces of information I was getting from podcasts that I listened to. So, like, how does it feel to, like, kind of be disconnected, like, at a time like this?
Well, I think when you disconnected, it's a hard time to be disconnected. That's why I started back, you know, trying to keep up with what was going on. Right. But I always like to try to disconnect sometimes because you need that break, you know.
It's tough, bro. Away. It's tough to see that type of stuff. That's why I've never watched any of the videos. Yeah. I've never watched any of those videos. It's impossible not to scroll past images, read stories and stuff like that. But yeah. For me personally, I cannot intake that amount of trauma. I can't receive it.
I can't. And you know, Jamaal, I thought about this one day at work. You know, I watched our story time. Mm-hmm. You tried to jank me because I was concerned about you. Oh yeah, got pulled when the police pulled up on us that time.
Yeah. Hold on, did I post it? No, I didn't post it.
Did you? I think you might have posted that.
I think I tried to hold off on it because I said this ain't the time to post it. But I posted story time with us talking about the trip going to the 24 hour.
Oh yeah, Braxton.
Yeah. But go ahead. Say what you was gonna say.
But we see that all the time, you know.
And I know where you're going because I thought about it too. But so finish that thought.
Yeah. So I was telling Jamaal I was concerned. You know, we as young kids, got stopped by the police. And the police pretty much was patting us down. Jamaal had something in his pocket. He go to try to get it out of his pocket. I'm telling him like, stop, don't do that. Let him get it out. Don't do that. And he's not understanding the situation. He's not understanding the danger in that situation. I guess he's not around. He wasn't around there at the time.
Nah, so let me explain. Let me give y'all a little bit of backstory. We recorded the last podcast we recorded. It was a few days prior to the passing away of George Floyd. And we just so happened to be talking about our interactions with police, right? That's crazy that we did that. But I was joking on him, making jokes and making fun of him because how he handled the situation with the cop. And he was telling me like, bro, you crazy because like, it's real, bro. They be killing us, yo. And I understand that and I know that, but then you just have a few days later where George Floyd passed away. Two things I'm happy about, and not in that situation, but one, that I did not post that video prior to the passing away because it looks bad, it's in poor taste, and then I refused to post it after because this is just not the time for that. So maybe I'll see that story time later, because if you can look at the story time I did post, it just says part 1. And the part 2 was really us talking about the interaction. But it's just not the time for that. For us to be joking about police in general.
Yeah. It's serious.
But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Serious.
And you know what's crazy? I always laughed at you as a kid. Not because I was unaware, but it's actually kind of crazy how aware of it you were as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't as prevalent. We wasn't seeing stories. We wasn't getting videos. Social media had really just started at that time. We had just started our MySpaces at that time. Like, literally had just started it. And so, like, I don't know what made, and maybe we start our MySpace the next summer, but I don't know what made you so hyper aware or hypersensitive to the situation. In my head, I was thinking, I got gum in my pocket, candy. Actually, I had candy in my pocket. Here it go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like this could escalate into a different type of situation, but you're very correct. It could have.
Yeah.
And then I've been in situations like that since. I've told these stories on my YouTube channel, but just piggyback off of that. Like, what's your thoughts? Like, what goes through your head during police routine traffic stops now?
Well, mine and my mom, my moms, they always kind of talk to me about that, They kind of talk to me about that,
right,
growing up. So,
I think my mom tried to just keep me out of trouble. She didn't talk about it, but she would do everything to keep me out of trouble so I wasn't in that situation. You know what I'm saying? But keep going.
But, like, when you're driving, I started driving
early,
like right at 15, 16, I started driving. And
5 years before me.
So once I started driving, they knew that, hey, it's a chance I'm going to get pulled up by the police. Mm-hmm. Period. So I didn't know how to handle that situation. So
do you worry about that a lot here? Although, like, let me say this. We have uncles that are higher up in the police academy here in Tuscaloosa and in Birmingham. Like, do you worry about that with that situation?
Yeah.
You don't think about it?
I think about it. You always gonna be worried about it because.
No, I'm saying, like, think about that. The connection.
What you mean?
Of having your uncle. Cause I just, for me as a kid, my mom was so like reckless on the streets. Mm-hmm. Like, not reckless, but if a cop say something to her, she talk back. She'll say anything but she also would always just be like, my uncle is blah blah blah. Go talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Like every time she got pulled over, she would just say his name, and I was always like, "Oh well, you could just do that."
I don't work like that.
I've never done it though.
No, I don't work like that all the time.
You've tried it though, right?
You can try it, but it don't always work like that.
Right. No, it don't. It don't.
But it's like, man, sometimes that don't matter to man. Like sometimes that don't matter when it comes to the police. Sometimes they have a point to prove.
Sorry, it's a fly in here, so that's why we keep. Well, I keep looking around. I don't know if you've seen it. We're gonna sit here and try to pretend like it's not in here. It's in here.
It's a black guy, got killed in Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad was a police officer at the time.
Yeah.
He got killed by an undercover police officer in the mall.
Yeah.
So it don't really.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that it does. I'm just saying as a kid, like growing up, seeing it, I just always thought like, oh, okay, this is a get out of jail free card. If I ever need that growing up, I've never done it though. Mm-hmm. Like I never done it. I remember I got pulled over. My very first speeding ticket was here, passing through Central High School, the back street where the park is, not like on 15, but the other one, you know what I'm talking about. And I was driving through there, and this cop pulled up on a motorcycle, bro. At first I was like, bro. He was like, son, do you know that you was going 50 in a school zone? I was like, I ain't know it was a school zone. Because to be honest, I ain't know the school was right there. I was like, nah, I didn't know that, bro. And he was like, I'll have to give you a ticket, blah, blah, blah. I was not good at talking my way out of no tickets at that time.
Yeah.
But he was like, and you were also texting and driving. And I was like, bro, I promise you, this is what I said. This is not the right thing to say. I said, no, officer, I wasn't texting. He was like, then what were you doing? I saw you on your phone. I was like, I was looking at the stats from last night's basketball game. I was looking at the Lakers stats, bro. That's really what I was doing.
He told his man that. No, that's not what to do. That is not what to do.
He told me. Nothing. Never mind. He gave me a ticket. I got a ticket.
That's not what to do.
But nah, in all seriousness though, it's tough. I spoke about this part in my video. I don't know if you saw that, but I feel like I have justice. Like in this country, I feel like it's harder and it's a more difficult road to success in this country for black people, but I feel like it is a very achievable goal. Mm-hmm. to be successful, to have whatever it is, whatever accomplishments you want to achieve in life. I feel like it's a possibility in this country. So if I want to own my own business and do these different things and impact my community, I feel like I can do that. But I feel like it's just as likely to get shot.
But see, the thing is with that, yeah, you can do that, but they make it harder.
Absolutely.
They make it harder.
It's 100% harder.
Like, if a black person try to open up a store,
mm-hmm.
they make it so much harder than somebody from overseas come over here, get a loan just like that easily, open up 3-4 stores.
Yeah.
But they make it so much harder for us to have to do stuff like that. Like,
it's an injustice.
We're able to do it. We're able to do a lot of great things. But that's why it makes us so great. That's how I feel. That's why it makes us so great. It makes us, I don't say that.
Because we built for this by design.
Because we able to achieve what they're trying to achieve. We always go above and beyond them. Mm-hmm. And then they done put so much in front of us and we, so many obstacles in our way. They made it harder for us and we still achieve it.
You know what?
How they do that?
It's a joke. There's a joke by Bill Burr that I think kind of encapsulates this whole thing. And he said that at one point, we weren't allowed to be in the Olympics. Then they put us in the Olympics, finally put us in the Olympics, and Jesse Owens was dominating the Olympics in the running, just killing the people in the Olympics. And the Germans were very upset. This was like around the time of World War II or one, whichever one he started. And the Germans were very upset. And Hitler was upset and furious because he was like, I want to create this superior race, you know? And Bill Burr goes like, you kind of already did that. Like, if you make people work hard, if they trying to escape, they gotta run through water, run away from dogs, they gotta climb trees, you got them picking cotton. If you make somebody do that for 4 years, it isn't no wonder they dunking on us in the NBA. Like, there's no they're faster than us. He was like, we already kind of created this superior race. And so that's the crazy thing is like, white people get so frustrated that black people overcome and be great in life. You made it so that we have to be that way. Like, we weren't, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like you saying, like, yeah, they make it harder. But then when we achieve something and we're great, we're resilient, and we don't give up, they be upset about that. But like they made it that way.
They do.
And I feel like in this country, because then I'm just as plausible to be successful as I am to be gunned down by a cop, bro. And it's a frustrating reality, to be honest with you. It's something that has to change.
It does. It's crazy when you know the police supposed to be the people who's supposed to protect you, but you're really scared of them, you know.
Yeah. Well, who's talking about like our interactions with the cops? Like, I really be thinking I'm gonna get killed, bro. I really think that way. Like, doing something positive. I mean, doing something right or wrong. I remember in Arkansas, I was driving in Arkansas, and I didn't have that fly just landed in front of us, and we both on the camera like. He just tuned into the podcast. But I remember being in Arkansas, and I was in Hot Springs, Arizona, and I remember exactly what I did wrong. I was driving down this road, and I think my license was expired, or I didn't have insurance. One of those two things. I think I didn't have insurance. Okay. So I was driving down the road, and it may be both, license and insurance. I was driving down this road, and I saw police, and he was underneath the bridge. And I was talking on the phone. No, I wasn't talking on the phone. I was driving down the road, and I saw him, and I put my car in cruise control, 50 miles per hour. That's what the speed limit was, 50 miles per hour. So I put the car in cruise control, and I drove past him. And I said, oh, dang, he trying to catch somebody. I got to be a law-abiding citizen because I ain't got my stuff right. So got to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm driving, then I pick up the phone and talk on the phone to a homeboy. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to get gas, bro. So I get off the next exit, make a loop around, get gas at the gas station. I'm talking to him the whole way. And I'm driving back down the road, and I forget the cop was right there because I'm on the phone. So I forget the cop is right there. I'm going about 60, 65. Go straight through. My man pull up on me. And he pulled me over. And I legitimately, and this is just a different story because I've had situations. I legitimately remember thinking to myself, this is over. It's over, bro. I don't got nothing right. I'm in Arkansas. I'm in Hot Springs where people told me, like, there's certain parts of Arkansas that they used to tell me I wasn't even allowed to go. Like, this is where KKK started. You're not allowed to go to that city. Like, they will actually try to kill you if you go to that city. My guy Dylan used to tell me. Now I would be like, bro, I'll go there with you. And he was like, no, I'm sorry, you can't go. And so I was like, all right, bro. I remember just being like, that's it, bro. This is really it. And homeboy was super chill. He didn't even give me a ticket. I really talked my way out of it. Mm-hmm. And I remember calling my wife like, I'm still here. And she was like, yo, you gotta get your stuff straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be out there on the road like that. You gotta get your stuff straight. And I agree, but it shouldn't be that way, bro. I should have been like, dang, I'm finna get a ticket. I shouldn't have been like, bro, he could kill me, bro. He could really have done that. Cause we was on the main road, but there was nobody around, bro.
Nah.
And he had no reason to just be nice about it. He was just like, oh, you're from out of town. That's cool. Just, where are you coming from? I had a suit and tie on. Where are you coming from? I explained my situation.
Maybe they helped you out. The suit and tie always makes things a little bit better.
Yeah. And he's just like, here you go. But it's just, I get it, bro. This is a tough time for us all. It's hard to kind of wrap your mind around it. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I always feel like this about certain stuff. I'm one of those people, you know. I just consider myself a woke type, you know. I'm one of those people that feel like I just feel like I said before, they do things to try to make things harder for us, and it's just
systemic racism.
Yeah, you can say that.
It's a system designed to keep us down.
Yeah, and they just want to put us in jail.
And they
all they
don't
want to do is put us in jail.
And they also don't want to admit it. This is wild. This is wild, super wild. Have you seen Just Mercy?
Just Mercy.
It has Jamie Foxx as a criminal. He doing life in prison, and Michael B. Jordan is his lawyer.
Mm-mm.
Go watch it. They made it free on Amazon because of everything that's going on right now. They made it free for everybody to rent. And I watched it 2 or 3 days ago. And if y'all haven't watched it, I don't, spoiler alert, I'm not going to give away too much because you should go watch it. But Jamie Foxx is in prison for a crime he didn't do. And he's not just serving life sentence. He was serving a death sentence. Like, he had the death penalty here in Alabama. And they were saying that there was a ton of people in Alabama that was getting the death penalty, and they weren't even guilty, period. And I thought to myself, this is such a weird thing what's going on in the movie. He was driving down the street, just at the beginning of the movie, driving down the street, and there's a police barricade. They got him blocked in. Police walk up on him. He talked to him for a little bit. He making them laugh. Police like, we got your fingerprints. We taking you in. He was like, I'm sorry, you got the wrong guy. They make him get out the car. They arrest him. And I was thinking to myself, this was the 60s, the 70s, I don't know when it was, but it was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, it is like, I'm talking about so long ago to the point where they were literally like KKK lynching black people still. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, how and why did they not just kill him? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like the police would find a black man that they felt was guilty of rape and murder them right there and then and there.
See, the thing is, the police want to they want to put you in jail for the most part, because when they put you in jail, they pretty much, the city make money off of it.
So
you know,
that's my point. So they were locking up innocent black people and giving them the death penalty, which I thought to myself, well, why don't they just kill them, right? But first of all, you get free labor for a couple years. You murder somebody that was innocent of a crime, and they had no reason to kill them because they knew they would be convicted of the crime, and they knew they would get the death penalty, and they knew they would get killed eventually. Today, they are just killing us because none of that stuff applies. You can't just take an innocent black man. You can, But it's much harder to take an innocent black man to court and take him and kick in. Like, bruh, you gotta watch the movie. They literally had no evidence. There were over 20 witnesses that he wasn't even nowhere near that place. Today, that couldn't happen. Yeah. But back then, it's like, well, I don't care what those black people are talking about.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I just watching that movie, like, bruh, it's just such a bizarre juxtaposition where the cops were willing to take you to prison back then and give you death sentence versus today, them willing to just kill you for no reason, bro. And it's a disturbing thing. And there is a Chris Rock joke that talks about this. I get it. Every cop is not a bad cop. I agree with that. Matter of fact, I know it for a fact because I just told you I have family members that are police officers. And I wanted to be a firefighter. So I get that. Every cop is not a bad cop. True. But you cannot, Chris Rock said, there are some jobs that can afford to have a bad apple. Period. There are some jobs I was like, well, that's kind of harsh. Like, everybody should be afforded some kind of leeway, right? And he was like being a pilot, for instance. He was like, could you imagine if American Airlines was like, oh, most of our pilots are great, but some of our pilots they don't care if they don't land the plane. Like, he's right. You can't, there's some positions in this country where you cannot have bad apples, bruh. You can't. You can't have bad apples. And he was like, could you imagine that if they was just like, oh, it's okay. You know, like, oh, it's okay if we only land some of the planes. Like, nah, bro, it's not. It doesn't work like that. And police officers are the same way. They should get paid more money for sure, but you can't afford to have bad police officers, bro. People's life is on the line.
True. How I feel about it, like, you got good cops, bad cops, whatever. But my thing is, they all stick together. So if these cops doing bad and the good cops sticking in with them, they bad too, right? You know.
But I understand that. Like, that's why I don't fault.
That's why one of the guys who got arrested for the George Floyd murder, he was standing over there, make sure everybody got back.
Yeah.
But the rest of them wasn't on him. But yeah, you got charged too because you was there.
Here's the thing, bro. I understand that cops stick together. And I'm going to tell you why I understand that cops stick together. Because when we play sports, what we do? Stick together, right? Like your homeboy, you know this wrong. Homeboy swing on somebody in the middle of a football game, what you doing? We fighting, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We ask questions later. What we do, what should we do as a black community? Stick together. Right. What should, like, if you work at a job, the managers stick together and you manage the employees, right? When I was a manager, if one of the other managers, and I always had this mentality, if one of my employees did something wrong to the customer, I would tell the customer, don't worry about it, ma'am, sir. I will take care of this. He will be reprimanded or whatever, right? As soon as they walk away, I'm on the employee side, bro. It's us against them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Management, me and you. You say something to this employee, that employee don't like it, they come to me and complain. He's right. Will is right. Whatever he told you is correct. Now, I might go to you and say, bro, you wrong. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't have done that. But I took up for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a group of anything, black people, we should stick together. That's the mind-blowing part about this is we're all Americans. That's why we should be sticking together, bro. Like I understand the us versus them mentality. It just shouldn't come at a cost of somebody's life, bro.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances. Police should be there to protect and serve.
You hear your president, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Donald Trump. He sound like to me. He sound like he's trying to start a race war or something. Like I was just randomly watching the interview. Like I said, I don't really be on Facebook like that, and I don't watch the news. But I watched one of his interviews on YouTube, and he pretty much was telling the governors and the mayors to come with all forces. If you need to call the military, National Guard, you get them to. We're gonna force them not to tear stuff up. He even called for the citizens. Citizens, come on out there too. We can't let these people do that. You have the right to the Fourth Amendment. Not the Fourth Amendment. They're on. So you telling others just citizens, come out, get your guns, and if they don't stop tearing stuff up, you can shoot them.
Right.
So the president telling people to go get your guns and come stop these folks from doing that. That's not their job.
That's a wild thing to say, bro.
Yes.
It's a wild thing to say, bro. But you also do have the right to protect your property. That's what my thing about America is, period. I think that the laws that we have across the board, we have laws that I feel like are great, and I feel like we have laws that are wrong. Like, once upon a time, alcohol was illegal. Now it's not. Once upon a time, marijuana was illegal, and most places it's not. Or a lot of places it's not. It's like, laws change with the times. Things change. So there are laws that I feel like are appropriate. And when you have a law...
Alcohol illegal?
It used to be. Before
it used to be.
Prohibition, yeah. Prohibition.
I say it was illegal now.
No. You're like, oh no.
I ain't know about that.
But I feel like laws are in place for a reason, which are great. That's the thing that I dislike about the laws, though, is they they are in favor of different races and not our own.
Yes, and all the laws have so many loopholes, and the loopholes are for them.
Right, they don't work in our favor.
Yes, they don't. Man, I watched a documentary called The 13th Amendment, and this how I explain how they made laws.
You asked me to watch that, now
yes,
I couldn't do it.
You should watch it.
I can't.
You should watch it.
Look,
this lady showed me on here. They said that they do a survey. Most black people sell or use crack. Well, white people use cocaine. Well, they use crack too, but the rich white people use cocaine. Yeah. So, cocaine and crack is the same thing. One just broke down, okay? Just chopped up. They will give you maybe 5 to 10 years for an ounce of cocaine, because that's what the more rich people, white people use. That's more sophisticated, But if you get caught with an ounce of crack, you get life in prison.
Yep.
Mandatory.
Yep.
How does that work?
Because, bro, they really tried to. They made the laws, and that's what people are upset about with like the Clintons, even Joe Biden, and a bunch of other people in the late 90s, late 80s, 90s, the war on drugs, and that was an extreme attack on the black community, and it's unfair. People commit the same crimes, people do the same things, and they go to jail for different times. Like a black person could be in jail for the same crime that a white person is in jail for, but the black person has 30 years, the white person has 3. It's been like that for a long time, bro. And that's what people are protesting about. And that's what I want to see. Like, what's your thoughts on the protest, the peaceful protest, and then we'll get to the riots and the looting?
I think it's good. I like to see more people doing it.
Your sister was there. My sister was there.
Yeah, they were. And I like that. I actually talked to my sister about stuff like that. It just, I seen it done to me. So I do it to her. I pass it down to her.
I do the same thing with my sister. My mama didn't talk to me about it. I don't talk to my sister about it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say a word to her.
I like to prepare her because we're in Alabama. yeah, so I like it for her to be prepared, and then I like a little rebel soul, I like that. I but with all the peace, I like that everybody's coming together. Everybody's kind of.
I find it astonishing the amount of people that are finally protesting.
But
enough is enough at this point, right?
Yes, enough is enough, and so many people are just stopping with really what they're doing and tuning into what's really going on. Like,
no, hold on, you're wrong. A lot of people still don't have anything to do. A lot of people still not working.
That's what I'm saying.
So, like, a lot of people are just out and about protesting, and I think it's great, bro, because it's also not just black people.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
So, I love the fact that they're doing peaceful protests. And I want to say something about the peaceful protests and all the protests, but I'll get to that later. How do you feel about the looting and the rioting?
Now, all of it just with black people. Understand that.
You use your platform responsibly. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, all of them, it was everybody. I don't know. I wouldn't say just go test them, but sometimes you get to that point where they're not.
This country doesn't understand anything but loss. Yes. Let me put that way.
Yes, man.
If you don't affect money, you don't affect pockets, they don't care.
They ignore you. They don't hear you.
They don't care. So here's my thought on the peaceful protest, the rioting, the looting. There has to be a lane for everything. So there has to be people that's donating money to the cause and trying to change stuff that way. There has to be money. There has to be people that's trying to change legislation, change laws. There have to be people that are being put in place in government. There have to be looters, there have to be rioters, and they have to be peaceful protesters. You need all of those things in order to affect change. Like, you actually need every last piece of it.
But this is the thing, though. How long has we been doing this?
But it's on and off, bro. You gotta apply pressure,
you
bro.
Said on and off. This is the thing, like, hey, we'll do it. It's like, okay, y'all settle down. Everything's okay. We agree. You guys are right.
Right.
You're right.
When do you
think we get quiet? So we get quiet. But it don't go nowhere. It don't go nowhere at all.
And I think that's why people are done. I think people are done having it. It's like, okay, you're fine. Things are fine. We'll take care of you guys. And then we sit and wait around for them to take care of it. And I don't think people are going to wait this time around.
That happens.
So, like, the last time that I think that we really had an effective change in this country would be the civil rights era, which is where our grandparents participated in. And my grandma said something interesting to me the other day. She was like, oh, I understand now why my grandmother didn't want us to protest when I was growing up. She was like, she couldn't stop us, and we still did it. But I understand now. She was like, I'm worried about your sister and my sister. She's like, I'm worried about them, and I don't want them to go out there. And I was like, you can't stop them, Grandma. And she was like, I know. And she was like, but I think they're doing the right thing, but it's just hard. And I understand that sentiment. I have no problem. I'm not encouraging it, but I have no problem with the people looting and rioting, bro, because I feel like people don't understand sometimes. It's like America's like a child, bro. Like, you can tell America no all you want to, or yes all you want to. They don't understand until they get popped, until something actually hurts, bro. That's how this country has always been. And I think the last time that we had effective change in this country would have been the civil rights movement. And they did a lot of protesting peacefully with Martin Luther King, non-violent with Martin Luther King, and violent with Malcolm X. You gotta have both sides.
Like, this is the thing, though. They killing us. Like, how they doing it now, man? It's crazy. They're able to walk in. Say they walk in here, cause while we recording, walk in here and shoot both of us. No, I said, my fault. was the wrong house. I thought it was somebody else's house. I didn't know that was them. I was looking for the other person.
It's a house playing music. I thought it was that house.
I thought it was my house. I thought it was my house. My fault. The door was open.
Right.
What? How did it work? How you get?
They getting off. That's really the problem.
They getting off on a bogus story like that. Like that's all it takes.
It's so blatantly obvious, bro, and it's frustrating. It's furious.
I got all the evidence in the world. I got 20 people saying I didn't do it, and I can't get off. But they get off with telling you a story that, oh, I thought it was my house. It looked like my house.
What I learned is it's because of the way the law is set up. The law is set up for, it says that long as they have basically, what is it called? Basically justifiable fear or something. Like, as long as the cops can say, oh, I was afraid, you can't even tell somebody they weren't afraid. You know what I mean? So how do you prove that a person wasn't afraid?
Okay, see, that's the thing. They're afraid of us. What we did, y'all the one killing us. How y'all afraid of us?
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people say it's because they...
Look how they handle it. They're like, come on. White people will cuss the police out. Slap out.
Like they cuss their parents out.
Yes, they will cuss them slap out. Us, let you get an attitude with them. Step out the car, sir. Yeah. Hold on, what's going on? Step out the car.
I remember there was somebody saying that, like, police are afraid of us because, like, they're conditioned to growing up as a kid that black people are dangerous, black people are this, black people are that. And then they get to those positions and now they're afraid, they believe that type of stuff. It's something that they don't know. Like, white people think that they can walk through a neighborhood, a black neighborhood, and be in danger of their life. I heard somebody say, the black people are more afraid of you than you are of them. They sitting there thinking, are you a cop? You look mighty suspicious, bro.
Did you hear about the protesters, the people protesting with guns about it being on lockdown on 14?
Yeah. When Trump said they were peaceful protesters
with guns
and to give them their rights back, and then now we're thugs, right?
Yeah, get the army on us. All we doing is we peaceful protesting, not the rioters. I understand, but
even
peaceful
still, bro,
protesting.
You know what's crazy?
You arresting folks. They arresting folks and stuff, but these folks out here,
they also are still killing people in this time too, bro. And there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. We probably ain't got time for it all, but because it was, bro, the DC blackout was very frightening to me, bro. I literally just had to cut my phone off. Did you hear about that? Mm-hmm. I had to cut my phone off, bro. I was sick to my stomach thinking about that. People were protesting in DC in front of the White House. They put Trump in a bunker. His Secret Service put Trump in a bunker and cut all the lights off at the White House. All right? And so everybody was protesting. They taking these pictures, tagging on social media and stuff. Next thing you know, there's no posts, there's no tweets, there's no social media presence from anybody in DC. Thousands of people protesting, and all of a sudden on social media, you're not getting no response from people on social media. They shut down the power. They shut down their internet service. They shut down their cell service. And they shut down the internet. Like, people couldn't even respond. And they was putting out the military and stuff, bro. And that was the most bone-chilling. And who knows really what happened there. And this stuff is all alleged. But on that night, like, they are going to mass murder people right now, bro. Because they cannot contact social media. You can't videotape it and be live on Facebook and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, bro, they cut the lights off at the White House. Like, Trump literally was we're not home.
They can't do that everywhere. They gonna do that around that White House area. They can't do that everywhere.
I know, bro, but I'm just saying that night when I saw that story, I was like, I gotta go to bed, bro. This is frightening, bro. That they could, Gosh, bro, do something like that in this country.
They don't care, man. They don't care. I think it's good to see the athletes are stepping up. It's good to see people that have a little more influence on people are stepping up and speaking out about this stuff that's going on with the social injustice.
There's also no right. There's no wrong thing. Like, people are also being counseled left and right for not stepping up or for taking a peaceful mentality or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are like, they had a list of celebrities that should be getting canceled.
Drew Brees.
I know you was about to say
Drew Brees.
But they
You
had
messed up now, buddy. They don't like you no more, man.
They had a list of celebrities though. If anybody was against the rioting, people were upset. If anybody was, bro, anything, bro. Drew Brees, that was a idiotic.
Come on, man. What you thinking, dude?
I really felt like homeboy gave him a layup and he dropped the ball on it.
Yeah, that was. Then they knew he was gonna try to apologize and everything. They knew they started saying it before he even apologized. Kuzma posted on there. Kuzma said, "It don't say it if you gonna pretty much said it don't say it if you gonna come back and apologize, and don't apologize if you just not apologizing because how you understand. You apologizing because of the backlash for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, you said it, stand on it. But we see the real you. We understand what you. If you see all this going on and you still don't even understand, like you still don't.
Bad timing.
You still can't see another point of view besides your own.
Yeah, bad timing, bro.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of people they feel like are quiet, and a lot of people that are this and that.
Oprah ain't said nothing.
No, bro. But also, like I heard, I was listening to Brilliant Idiots today, and I heard Charlamagne say this. You also don't know what people are doing behind the scenes, bro. You don't know. But I'm not saying that they are doing anything.
That's what I'm saying. Don't even get no people. You can't give too many people the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not. I'm just saying you don't know what they are doing or what they're not doing. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying that, because you don't know the story. They were killing Jay-Z for not doing anything. They was like, "Oh, where's Jay-Z at a time like this? Jay-Z's supposed to be speaking out." And guess what he was actually doing? He was on the phone with the mayor of Minnesota, and he told them, "Y'all better arrest them and charge him." And that day, that first cop that they picked up, they arrested him that day and charged him that day. And the mayor said, "I had a conversation with Jay-Z today." But 3 or 4 days prior to that, people were killing Jay-Z for not saying anything. You can't tell him what to do, bro.
Yeah, but hey, we need more people like that. That's the thing. Like,
I'm saying that. No, he was doing that behind the scenes, though.
But this is the thing. Maybe they thought he didn't do it fast enough. You can't, like, our problem is we don't have enough black leaders. Like, the great people.
It's not true, bro.
Yes, it is true.
Yeah, it's not
true, bro. It is.
Go ahead.
We don't have enough black leaders, and I think a lot of them are we don't have enough of the right black leaders. I'll say that's trying to bring us together. They own their own thing. They looking out for them.
Don't let that narrative spread, bro. It's not true.
I said enough. I didn't say we didn't have any. I said we don't have enough.
Killer Mike. I'm going to go male, female, male, female, male. I can give you a list. Killer Mike. Angela Rye. T.I. actually is great right now. T.I. Tamika Mallory. Go to Diddy. Freaking Ebony K. Williams. Jay-Z. It's so many people, bro. And it's just not like we have great black leaders, bro. The problem is people don't like them or disagree with them. Killer Mike gave great speeches in the last few days and people are pissed about it. The leaders that we have just aren't the people that people assume to be our leader, like Killer Mike or a Bun B or a freaking J. Cole, Wale, Kendrick Lamar. Like, these people actually are standing up for social justice issues. They out there. Meek Mills, they out there. They're doing things actively to help the black community. But people don't want to acknowledge certain things or certain people. There's nothing you can do about that, bro. Like, we have positive people. We have positive leaders.
I didn't say we didn't. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say. I said enough. More people. You some of the stuff that's been going on. This stuff been going on. You didn't see all these people come out and speak. These people started to do it now, but this ain't been happening. Everybody haven't been out and
all them
speaking
people,
on what's been going on.
All them people I just mentioned. Every time something happens, they're on top of it. Killer Mike has like actively.
I just heard of Killer Mike this year.
David Banner.
David Banner.
They've been actively Trey the Truth in Houston.
Okay.
They actively are trying to change their community.
I'm talking about leaders as in, what's your platform? What's your influence level? You know?
Okay, here you go.
I'm talking about people.
Here you go.
Game changers.
Here you go.
Game changers.
I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
T.I. and Killer Mike and a few other black males are all on the board for the mayor of Atlanta. She's a black lady, and she created a board of black men that are and women influential in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. They're there. They're speaking on social issues. And guess what happens in Atlanta? If somebody murders a cop, as of late, if somebody murders a cop in Atlanta, they are arrested, charged, and sentenced almost every time in Atlanta. Because they have these black leaders, bruh. Mm-hmm. They actually are putting in the work. Like, for real putting in the work, bro.
Is that helping me in Alabama?
That's not our fault. Like, I'm just saying that.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to, but you can only affect the community you in
what
first,
I said. Bro. Like, certain people, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, some people can stretch out farther. That's what I'm saying. I said we don't have that person that can really stretch out like enough to help way more people. It's so much more.
But Martin Luther King didn't do anything for people, and this is no different. He didn't do anything for people.
His influence.
He didn't do anything for people in New York though. He was here in Alabama, in the South. It's just like anybody. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you can only go so far. And in this day and age, as connected as we are, this country is also way bigger. Things can't change, or you can't affect change as quickly or as rapidly today as you could back then. It's just different, bro. But there are like actually great leaders. Like, I gotta put you on social media more, bro. Because they're like great leaders, bro. Like, I'm so astonished and amazed by Killer Mike to be a rapper from Atlanta and then all of a sudden turn into an activist. And bro, he's done a lot, bro. A lot. David Banner's done a lot. I even think platforms like the Breakfast Club is important because they speak to a lot of different platforms. They speak to a lot of different people. Charlamagne just interviewed Joe Biden 2 weeks ago. That stuff is important, bro. That stuff matters. And I think there's a lot of black people trying to do a little bit. Do what they can as much as they can. And those things are like little droplets that can go a long way. Important people, bro. Common. Doing stuff like everybody, bro. I can think of just so many people. And there's people that's not celebrities that I'm just blanking on at the moment. Sean King or I don't know, bro. But thank you guys. I don't even know how many people gonna listen to this whole conversation because I'm putting it up probably in full. I'm not gonna split it up. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Please leave comments down below. giving your thoughts and opinions on these things.
Please do.
We would love to have y'all in the comment section. Thank y'all so much. This was another episode of It Can Still Happen. And these were our thoughts on the social injustice issues that are going on in America. Thank y'all. Good night.